Assalamualaikum and good evening, everyone, and welcome to our interview session. My name is Anis, and I'll be sharing device with Aisha. First of all, thank you for joining us tonight. We are here to have a casual interview session with Miss Azlina. This interview aims to explore her professional background, day-to-day responsibilities, and the language skills she used and wish to improve in her role. Without hesitation, let's begin the interview. Can you introduce yourself a little?
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Can you hear me?
Salam, yes.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anis. My name is Nur Azlina binti Zainuddin. I'm 28 years old and currently working in Kedah as a procurement executive.
Okay, thank you. My next question is what company are you working with and how long have you been in this field?
So now I'm currently working at Kompart Sendirian Berhad, based in Kedah, and I've been in the procurement field for over 3 years now.
Okay, thank you. I will be passing the next session to my group mate.
Hi, Miss Azina. My name is Aisha, and I will continue the interview session. So, for my first question, can you explain a little bit about your job scope, if you don't mind?
Sure. Alright, so as a procurement executive, so my role, I am responsible for sourcing and also negotiating with suppliers for non-product item like office supplies and also IT services. And beside that, I also develop cost-saving plans and work on improving the overall efficiency of the procurement process. So every month, I need to prepare reports on our procurement activities and also saving to present to our management or to the company.
Okay, I see. Okay, for my next question, what do you struggle with in this field?
Oh, that's a very interesting question actually. So, as in my job as a procurement executive, so I normally and mostly struggle with speaking and also reading because since my job require me to write lots of emails and also report, so sometimes I find it's quite challenging actually to express myself clearly. So because I often have to communicate with international suppliers like from China and also many other country, so I really struggle to understand their accent, which make listening quite difficult for me as well.
I see. I can quite feel what you're feeling. For my last question, from the four language skills, which one do you think you need to improve the most?
I think for the skills, I really need to improve my reading and also speaking skills actually, because these two skills are very crucial for both internal and also external communication in my job as a procurement executive in the company.
All right. Thank you for your answer, Miss Azlina. I will pass it next to Atika. Thank you.
Alright. Hello, Miss Azlina. My name is Atika. Alright. So my first question is, what is the main reason you want to improve your English skills?
Oh, thank you, Atika, for the question. So, the main reason why I really want to improve my English is I want to be more confident when I speak with clients or managers. Because sometimes I find it's very difficult for me to understand unfamiliar vocabulary or words that they use during our conversation. And this really affect my confidence when I was speaking with them.
Wow, it's great to hear that you actually learn English to improve your confidence. But it do help actually. Alright, so moving on to my next question. Do you find it difficult to understand English, especially when spoken with different accent?
Yes, it's it's very crucial for me to understand all of those things. So it's quite challenging for me, actually, because sometimes I struggle to catch the words, especially when people speak with me with a very strong accents, like from China and also India. So if they speak slowly, I can usually understand. But when they say or speak too fast, I get really confused sometimes. So in those situations, I often ask other people, like my colleague, to repeat or ask someone else to explain just to make sure that I understand the correct meaning or the actual things that they really want to say to me.
Oh, I see. Actually, it is normal for us to face difficulty with accents and fast speech, and also it's actually a good way how you ask for a clarification from your colleague when you are not sure about something. So I do agree with you, Miss Azlina, because I also sometimes face the same situation. All right, so I think that's all for my question. Thank you for sharing. Then I will pass it to my friend for the next questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Atika. So, Assalamualaikum to Miss Adlina and everyone. So, is everything good, Miss Adlina? Can we
Yeah.
continue?
Sure, sure. Why not?
Okay. So my first question would be: do you prefer written communication like email or direct communication like phone calls? And please state why.
So, thank you for the question first. So, personally, I prefer written communication skill than direct communications, especially emails. Because for me, emails give me the opportunity to organize my thought more deeply and also communicate with precision. So, I find that written messages help avoid misunderstanding and also allow both parties, me and also my client, to revisit the conversation later if needed. Like, I do use phone calls when something is urgent or need immediate clarifications. However, normally I usually follow up with an email afterwards to confirm the details and also ensure everything is properly documented.
Aida, your mic.
Sorry. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, Miss Azlina. So, written communication really does help keep things clear and trackable. The next question would be: what systems or tools do you use to manage your tasks?
Thank you for the question. So in my company, we actually have our own internal procurement system, which actually really help me to track the purchase request, manage supplier quotation, and also any issues that related to the purchase orders, or we call it as POs. So it's an essential tool for maintaining workflow and also ensuring the traceability. So in addition to that, I also use Microsoft Excel regularly, and for example, to compare supplier prices, manage the budgeting, and also create a summary report for the company. So for communication, we actually use email because it's really help to keep all the discussions in one place and also make sure it's easier to refer back when we need the document.
Okay, sounds like you've got a solid system in place. Using both the procurement system and Excel must really help with staying organized and efficient. Okay, the next question. is when writing to suppliers or clients, do you follow any specific writing style or tone?
Yes, of course. In this field, we still need to follow some specific writing style and tone when we want to communicate with the clients or the suppliers. So I always try to make sure that I use a professional and also polite tone in all written communications. Like for example, in the email, so even when I have to raise concern or file a complaint to the other parties, so I try to keep the message as respectful as possible and also constructive. Because personally, I believe that maintaining a good relationship with the suppliers is very crucial for the company, right? So I try to avoid any emotional or harsh language when I was writing something to the other parties. So I aim to be as clear and solution oriented in all my messages.
Wow, that's a great approach. So, being respectful and clear really goes a long way in maintaining strong supplier relationships. Okay, my last question would be, have you ever received any formal training in English for your job, or is it mostly self-taught?
So honestly, I haven't had any formal training in English specifically for my work, but most of my communication skill is in English are self-taught through on-the-job experience. So over time, by reading a lots of emails and also writing my own, I've learned how to express myself more professionally. So I've also paid attention to how experienced colleague phrase things, which really helped me to improve my tones and also the structure of the words.
Okay, that's really impressive. It sounds like you have developed strong communication skills on your own. So I guess that's all from me. I will pass it to the next interview. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aida. Hi, everyone. My name is Shaza, and I'm happy to be here. So, for Miss Azlina, I have three questions. My first question is, in the needs analysis, you mentioned concerns about the Chinese accent and when speaking. So I want to ask, is it okay if I create one exercise that focuses specifically on the Chinese accent?
Thank you, Miss Shaza, for the question. So, yes, I think that was very interesting idea and also very helpful for me. So, in my role as a purchaser, I communicate frequently with suppliers, which whom speak English with a very strong Chinese accent. So, sometimes I find it quite difficult to fully understand them. So, especially during phone calls or urgent discussion about stock and also deliveries issue. So I also worried that my own way of speaking may not be clear to them, especially when we both speak in English as our second language. So I think an exercise that focus specifically on understanding and also responding to the Chinese accent will help me a lot, not just to improve my listening skill, but I think also helped me to adjust my own speech to be more clearer and also more effective during our interactions.
I understood it very clearly, and thank you so much for sharing your concerns about understanding the Chinese accent. I know it can be helpful to know that this is a real challenge for your daily work, especially during urgent conversations with suppliers, like you mentioned. And I fully support your suggestion, and I sure will take note on that and will create an exercise specifically focused on improving listening and speaking skills related to the Chinese accent. So, without further ado, let's continue with my next question. For the second question, since speaking in e-module can be quite difficult to practice and to know your marks, grade and improvement, so I want to ask, are you comfortable with doing a self-recording and self-check? I have designed the speaking test to be as close as real life situations as possible, so maybe it can serve as a guide to help you in your daily life.
Yes, I totally agree with that. I think that self recording and also self checking will help me be more aware of how I sound in professional conversation. So, in my work environment as a procurement executive, there's not always someone who can give feedback. So, this kind of method can actually give me a chance to monitor my own improvement, right? So, I like that the speaking task is based on a real life situation because it reflect the kind of conversation that I actually have with the suppliers, such as negotiating prices, discussing delivery schedule, and also clarifying order details. So I think these are not just classroom activities for me, but actually they are skills that I use every day in my daily life as a procurement executive. So having a practice format that mirrors those kind of interaction is really useful for my job and also kind of help me to build my practical communications confidence as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Azlina. I really appreciate your willingness to try the self-recording and self-check approach. Otherwise, I might need to think of something else. So I think actually it's a smart and practical solution, especially since you may not always have someone to give you feedback, right? So I will try my best to make sure that the tasks are meaningful and closely reflect your real life situations. Okay, for the last question, what are your personal goals for improving your speaking skills?
That was a very interesting question. So honestly, my main goal is I really want to become more confident and also efficient in professional conversations, especially with the suppliers from different backgrounds, because I really want to speak clearly and also professionally while being easy to understand and also even when communicating under pressure or when there's a language barrier. I also want to improve my listening skill, particularly my ability to understand different accents, including the Chinese accents, Indian accents, and many more, without needing things to be repeated. So, and last but not least, I really want to build a stronger working relationship with my suppliers as well by communicating more smoothly and also avoiding any misunderstanding. Because I truly believe that improving my speaking skill will not only make my job easier, but also help me to present myself more professionally in meeting and also written correspondence.
Okay, thank you, Miss Azlina. Thank you for clearly outlining your personal goals. I think it's very excellent that you are aiming to improve both your speaking and listening skills to become more confident and efficient in your professional conversations. I will keep these goals in mind when designing the speaking and listening activities in the speaking module, okay? Especially focusing on building your ability to communicate clearly and understand different accents and handle conversations smoothly under pressure. Your determination to strengthen working relationships through better communication. I swear to God, I don't know why I'm so nervous. I'm sorry. Through better communication is very inspiring, and I believe these exercises will directly support that goal. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you.
I think that's all for our interview tonight. Thank you, Miss Azlina, for joining us, and we will make sure to take your worries into account, and we will create modules that suit your needs. Assalamualaikum and good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss Aslina.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Thank
Miss
you.
Azlina.
Miss.